So Jesse is that the original bed?
They said it is.
Wow. So she could have a view of his grave right there.
I know you gonna dig this. Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? So here I am in a small town. I'm not sure of the name. I think I'm near Excelsior Springs. I'm about 4 miles from Kearney, Missouri, here in Missouri. And I'm at the James Farm. I've got a teleprompter. It's called the James Farm. This is the birthplace and the original burial spot for notorious outlaw, bank robber, tattoo artist. Nope. What? Wasn't a tattoo. That was different Jesse James. Not a tattoo artist. Jesse James. Look right here. There's a museum, and over there, the homestead where Jesse James was born, where he grew up, where he was originally buried. Let's go. Let's check out the museum. Let's get over there too. Jesse James. And if you look right there just before we go in, you can see the orange groves are blossoming. See how orange they are? Beautiful. Let's go in. They've insisted that I watch the movie, so I'm going to watch the movie and I'll tell you about it. My goodness. Okay, here we go. All right, I think I learned a bit. Stuff I didn't know about Jesse James before. Take a look here. Great movie, Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Some of my favorite actors have played Jesse James in movies. Brad Pitt, Colin Farrell, Rob Lowe, Chris Christopherson. Pretty cool. Christopher Lloyd, didn't know that. Robert Duvall, love Robert Duvall. Wild. Okay. There's Rob Lowe. There's Colin Farrell. All right, let's go into the museum. But I think this is the assassination of Jesse James. Yeah. Crew cap. Original script. Senior Vice President of Warner Brothers gave that. It's a great movie if you've ever seen it. Casey Affleck is great as well. All right, so we want to get to the homestead, but we're going to take a look at this. Boots worn by Zerelda Cole. That's Jesse James' mom. His father's shaving mirror. What else we got? A License to Preach. Love that movie, The Two Corys. No, License to Drive. That's his father's License to Preach. Oh. What do we got here? Sewing machine belonging to his mom. And a quilt made by Jesse James' mom. She was married 3 times. Dr. Reuben Samuel, stepfather of the James. I think it was her second. Wait. No, 3rd. I think they were married for 52 years or something. Yes, this would be her 3rd husband. Well, the hat doesn't make it exactly fair if you measure up. Oh, right there. Bunch of guns, boots. There's E. That was worn by Jesse James, the last cartridge belt worn by him. What else we got? We got a handkerchief belonging to him. Right there. Oh, wow. These are the boots he was wearing when he was killed. Wow. That's incredible. Last bridle. See it for the horse. Used by Jesse James.
Okay, you did, yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Oh, wow. So this reads, recovered near the remains of the right foot and identified by John Clayton from a regional criminal ballistics laboratory in Kansas City. It was fired from a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver during the escape from the attempted bank robbery at Northfield, Minnesota in September 1876. It is believed that Jesse James was wounded and carried the bullet in his body until he died. This is cool. Now this is, let's look at this. Now he's not buried here now, but if you can see here, I'm gonna read all this to you. No, I don't do that, but it's just easier right now. Jesse James was buried in an elegant casket provided by law enforcement authorities in the yard of his birthplace, April 6, 1882. The body was moved to the family plot in Kearney in 1902. The original casket, having deteriorated, was thrown back into the grave and the remains placed in a new one. The original casket was discovered during the 1978 archaeological excavation. And there it is, right there. And that's on top of an embalming table. There he is after death. There's a home in St. Joseph where Jesse James was killed. Stay tuned. There's the original grave after it was dug up. I believe that would be 1978. They found it. So the casket without him. Like I said, he was moved in 1902. So Jesse James' career lasted from 1866 to 1882. During that time, the gang robbed 12 banks, 7 trains, 7 stages, a payroll, and a fair box office. He was the most sought-after outlaw in the nation. He was never captured. Jesse James was killed in his home in St. Joseph, Missouri, April 3, 1882, by 2 accomplices, Robert and Charles Ford, for a reward. He was buried in the yard of his birthplace. His remains were moved to the family plot in Mount Olivet Cemetery, Kearney, Missouri, in 1902. Pieces of skeletal material found in the original grave during an archaeological excavation in 1978 were scientifically analyzed and agree with the characteristics of Jesse James. This is really cool. This was in the house in St. Joseph. This is what he was dusting and straightening at the time he was shot in the head by Robert Ford. And that's the feather duster he was holding. He was doing a little cleaning. And there's a chair. That's a small chair for a big man, or a 6 foot guy. That's really cool. That's the feather duster he was holding and the picture he was dusting when he was killed. It's the original gravesite. We're gonna go see that. And then his other one, which I'm not gonna show you yet, because you have to stay tuned for a second video. Riding gloves of Jesse James and a pair of spurs. What did I want to say about this? Oh, handles of the original casket. There's that bullet again. Now the reason he was moved, his mother had him buried here at the farm because she was afraid of his body being dug up and taken and put on display. Like that was happening back then with notorious outlaws and things. So she wanted him here where she could keep an eye on him here at the James farm. And then after Jesse James' wife died, the mother relented and let him be moved to Kearney. Wow. So there's a model of the farm. We're gonna go out back in a moment, but Detectives, January 25th, 1875, detectives seeking Frank and Jesse James surrounded the James home. Without warning, they threw an exploding device through the kitchen window and then attempted to set fire to the house. The device was kicked into the fireplace where it exploded. Jesse and Frank's 8-year-old half-brother Archie was killed and their mother lost part of her arm. Jesse and Frank were not apprehended. And that's part of the bomb. And that's their mom, Zerelda. She's got part of her arm covered there. There they are. Actual photos of them. This is Jesse James' original tombstone. I know it's that. The other one looks like, but that's the little brother that was killed that I just mentioned. And his original tombstone right there. But this is the original tombstone of Jesse James. So without his mother watching over it, people chipped away at it, leaving only the base. As you can see, that's what was left. But this was discovered later. There it is. So this is Frank's horse, the original headstone for Frank's horse. He had it here, he moved the marker closer and closer to the house because the walk was tiring him out. And so Dan, the horse, is no longer known where he's buried on the property because Frank kept moving the headstone to be closer to the home. Wow. Lots of stuff from the house here. Utensils and things. Frank James, one of his robes, looks very similar to what I wear around the house. Except there's no boa. Okay, let's go outside. I've brought this with me. I've watched the movie. I've done everything. This is wild here. I do need to say that this is Dan, works here at the farm. We were just discussing, as I was about to say, and had to mention the James family fought for the South, correct? And this was a farm that owned slaves.
They did. 6 or 7 slaves.
Wow. So we have to say that. I mean, it's dark part of history.
It was a hard part of history to live through. Yeah.
Right, and so we're conscious of that. If anybody's watching this and knowing that this was, a place of suffering for a lot of people.
It really was.
Yeah. So let's take a walk, Dan. We're gonna go over to the actual house and see the original grave. So as we're walking up here, you were just telling me, Dan, that this is original to the time, but Jesse never saw this house. This is...
Correct, yeah. There had been a building about a third of the size there, but it was in bad shape, so his mother took it down and bought a kit house in 1893.
Wow.
And then Frank and Annie moved back here in 1911 when his mother died, and Frank was getting old, so they invited their son Bob James and his wife to live here too, because they needed help taking care of the farm. And Bob added the last section there. We call it the modern kitchen because it has electricity.
Right. Yeah, I just read something about that. Or maybe it was here I read that about it.
Yeah, probably.
Or just in the last room, invented the modern kitchen. Or brought the modern, he didn't invent it.
So the door on the left was the bedroom that Frank and Annie used when they moved back here, and the door on the right is the parlor where they would entertain people.
Wow.
The screen doesn't show up or anything.
No. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. Very cool. So this is Frank's room with his wife. Oh, it looks, yeah. Right now it's not open. But sometimes this is open?
On the first Saturday of the month, so...
Oh, first Saturday of the month, okay.
Are you still in town Saturday?
No, I'll be south.
Okay.
It's okay. This is cool, you can see it really well. And so this side is the kitchen?
That's the parlor.
Oh, this is a parlor, sorry, you said that, yes. Oh, wow.
All original James family furniture.
That's all original furniture for them. That's wild. How has it managed to... Who owns it now?
The county.
The county. So, because in the movie I watched, it said that It was in the family for 130 years, roughly.
They bought the farm in 1845. So, and Bob James lived here until the late 1950s.
Right.
So,
And just kept the same furniture that his.
oh yeah, yeah. And the county actually didn't get it until 1978. So it was the James family from 1845 to 1978.
Yeah, that'll do. That's wild. Same furniture. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. It is his original footstone. It has his
Right.
initials on this end of it.
Now, is there anyone else buried here now?
No.
Besides the horse.
Yeah.
Dan the horse is here somewhere.
Right, somewhere on the property, right. Maybe a few other bodies too.
Right. But there's there's some gunfights here, explosions, and lots of stuff going on
The
here.
Pinkertons
Yeah.
threw the firebomb in through the window that's on the opposite side. This is the original kitchen, that first door.
Okay.
And there's a window on the opposite side where they threw the firebomb in. And the bedroom where Jesse was born is that other door.
This door here?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go up to that for sure. So was his little brother that was killed here, 8 years old, is he
Right.
buried with Jesse in
He's
Kearney?
buried in the town of Kearney.
Okay,
right.
cool.
Yep.
Well, not cool, but
Yeah.
sad, but I'm just going to see that. Jesse Woodson James murdered April 3rd, 1882 by a traitor and coward whose name is not worthy to appear here. That's wild. So that's the original footstone.
Yep.
Let's see, it says here, JWJ.
Yeah, so today is the actual day that he was killed,
What?
April 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
So you came on a good day.
For sure. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. Today's the anniversary. So what are we looking at? 100 years plus 18, 118 plus 25, 143 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah. What a coincidence. Weird. Now, I read in the museum, the original monument, there was one like this, or is this the original one?
No, it was one that was about 8 feet tall, but they said that it had the same inscription on it.
What happened to that one?
That's the one that just got chipped away by.
Oh, that's that little one that I saw?
That's what's remaining.
Oh,
It
wow.
used to be
So it's
8
that
feet
big.
tall. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like a regular size. Okay. Well, you just said something because I've been keeping the name Zerelda in my head because it's such a odd name, original name, I should say.
Yeah.
Not odd. His mother was Zerelda, but
His first cousin was named after his mother, so her name was Zerelda, and he married his first cousin.
he married. Is that his only wife? Through
Yeah, his only wife. They called her Z, just to make a distinction between Zerelda, the two Zereldas.
he called her Z or Cuz. That's so
Wife,
bizarre.
yeah.
That's so bizarre. Wow. How? Well, okay.
And she's got an inscription on the other side of this, but people sometimes get confused with the two Zereldas. But
Beloved wife and mother, Zerelda Amanda James. Yeah, that would be confusing.
Yeah.
So what did she die of? She died pretty young.
yeah, she died 1900. A lot of the people say that it was just a broken heart. She just lost life interest in living.
Oh, wow. Because the mother lived quite a long time.
Yeah, 1911.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, let's look at his bedroom, or the bedroom where he was born. So this door or that door? Straight here?
Yes.
This is where he was born, in this room.
After he was killed, she angled her bed so she could just lift her head and look out and keep an eye on the original grave.
Really? So this was her bedroom?
Yes, that's where Jesse was born.
So Jesse is that the original bed?
They said it is.
Wow. So she could have a view of his grave. Right there. His original grave.
Yes, right.
Not his actual grave. watching over. Wow. Whose bedroom is this? Do we know?
Well,
Oh, this is the other side of Frank. Sorry.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, sorry.
1980s.
A different view of it, yeah.
Yeah, she was not a social person, so she would, when Frank was entertaining people in the parlor, she would close the door and just work on sewing or quilting.
No.
Glass is original.
All original. Wow.
This was the building that was there when Jesse was growing up. We're on the porch here, and that was the building, and then this is the kid house down here.
Right. So that's the kid house
Yes.
there. This is the original. This is the original building.
Yes, 1822.
So he actually lived in this part of the house.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing how much original stuff is still here.
Yeah,
You know? You don't see that too often. It's always replicas or...
Well, the James family just held on to all the furniture and everything. That first white building is a replica where they had a smokehouse for smoking meats.
Okay.
And the bathroom over there is a replica. It's on the spot where Frank kept his carriage when he lived here.
Okay. Sorry, so it's 40 acres right now, but it
Right.
used to be how many
They
acres?
used to have 275 acres.
Right.
Yeah,
And Frank and Jesse had a hideout somewhere out that way,
out in the woods. Yeah.
out in the woods.
And these tall, skinny trees, as well as that big one, are Kentucky coffee bean trees.
Okay.
And there was a big one right by the fence over here, and that's where they hung Dr. Samuel.
Right. The stepfather
Yeah.
tried to get information,
Yeah.
but he did on the third try. He gave up the info about where Frank and Jesse
then
were.
they still had the nerve to take him to jail, and they even arrested Zerelda, who was pregnant at
Right.
the time, and took her to jail. Yeah,
And they set fire and threw an explosion through this window here.
just on the other side. Yeah.
Is that the original water pump?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that
This first window
Is that their bathroom?
Well, that's where they probably had their outhouses
Right.
in that area. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's the window. This first one.
They threw it through there. That's the kitchen.
Yes.
So that's where all that when they were trying to find Frank and Jesse, the Pinkerton gang.
Yes.
That's where they were. All the adults were in here, and it must have been just haywire, just craziness.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Oh, the fireplace. Dan, thank you so much for showing me around.
Hey, you're welcome.
That
It's
was
good to meet
amazing,
you.
man. Look at this place. Wow. Let's get one last shot. There it is. Just James Homestead. Thanks, man. So as I mentioned, and I was having some fun here, but there is the past here when there's slave quarters out back, and something like that it's difficult to see and hard and sad. It's a place of historical significance for the James family, but it's also a place of great, well, I think you know what I'm trying to say. I hope. Very, very sad past for a lot of people here. Let's walk back down here. Thank you, Dan. Dan's gonna watch the video, I hope. And Dan, I appreciate you walking me around. That was amazing. So much information. Like all that information I carried on that little piece of paper that they give you. He's like, do you want me to hold that? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool because I don't need it anymore because you're showing me around. And you know everything. you know everything on the page. That was awesome. Thank you, Dan. And thank you to everyone that works here. If you are in this area of Missouri, I highly suggest coming out here because it's really, really, it's beautiful. All of this used to be farmland. I mean,
Still is.
Oh, wait, what? It is. It's all still farmland. But this, seeing this, very cool. Especially that museum. All right, so should I do something else on Jesse James? Watch the next video. Why am I out of breath from that? What was that? All right, I'm back. I'm fine. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you all. Thanks, Dan. Thanks to everybody that works here at the Jesse James house, James Farm. Peace. Another video coming right soon. Right soon. soon. Peace out. I'm leaving, looking at the dogwoods that are bright yellow right now. Beth and Bonnie work here. Amazing as well. So many amazing people here. And yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go. Saddle up. Dogwoods.